All right, we're good. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is Harlequin Murray. I'm your co-host this evening, and I get the honor and pleasure of welcoming everybody into the call. Hope you're having a fabulous day. If this is your first time with us, then welcome. We are glad that you joined us. But I also get to introduce our team member, our team leader, Miss Ellen Winn. And just to give you a little bit of her background, she is from the Atlanta, Georgia area. She grew up on a farm, a big dairy farm outside of Atlanta in a town called Dallas, Georgia. But super excited about that. I've been to that farm and it is gorgeous. But anyways, whenever she got out of school, she went into bartending and into the restaurant industry and worked there for many, many years. She ended up starting her own restaurant after working for Domino's Pizza for several years, where she was a district manager and a training manager for them. But she ended up doing a fabulous job with that and then started her own place. She decided, I don't even want to own a franchise. I want to start my own business completely. And it had 2 different locations. But anyways, yeah, sorry, I'm in a hotel lobby, people. There's people walking in and out. But life happens, right? But anyways, once she was in the restaurant industry, she got to learn about business through that. And she ended up going into network marketing. A friend of hers introduced her to the industry, and she did phenomenally well with that and worked with a couple of different companies. And whenever I met her many years ago, she was the national training director for a company and was running a network or a training center in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's how I first met her. Gosh, it's been over 15 years ago now. But anyways, since then, she has helped thousands and thousands of people have a successful career in network marketing. And we are very fortunate in that we get to have her as our team leader and take advantage of that knowledge. So with David Allen Cabell, she's been with the company almost 5 years now. She is the highest ranking agent in the field outside of David and Wade. And we're super proud of her for accomplishing that. But anyways, without further ado, Miss Ellen Winn, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Harlequin. Glad you could join us tonight, even though you're in a noisy hotel lobby. Last week we had Tony and Bobby stepping in, doing intros, and did a phenomenal job with that. So appreciate the teamwork as they have on, or Bobby does, Bobby Knight on his image. It says OTOD, and that's one team, one dream. I love it. We are all one big team and happy family here together with DAC. But thank you for that introduction. I always love that walk down memory lane. And I appreciate what you do for the team, Harlequin. Harlequin has been with me as part of DAC. Got started a little after a year after I got started. I'm so glad that she said yes. She's got a team that's blowing and going inside of our company, and they're doing some phenomenal things. I see many of her team on here tonight. So glad to have you all. And thank you guys for understanding on the time change here. Sorry if you didn't get the message. I sent out an email. I've sent out 2 emails to everyone saying that we're going to start doing these calls at 9 p.m. Eastern on Mondays instead of 8 p.m. A couple of things. One, David had announced that his wife is doing a workshop for 5 weeks, Reveal to Heal. And I wanted to participate in that too. I love doing the self-education and seeing if there's something in that I can bring back to the team and also improve myself as an individual and as a team leader. So I'm doing that. It's a 2-hour session tonight. That was part of what was prompting me to do the 9 p.m. start, because her session started from 7 to 9 p.m. The other part is it's summertime, and I love daylight savings time. And I know a lot of you guys are out and doing things with these longer days. I certainly am. So a 9 o'clock start time was better for the summer months, and then also our folks on the West Coast. It puts it at 6 p.m. for them rather than 5 p.m. if they're getting off work and not having to try to chime in on drive time, just getting off of their daytime job. So thank you all for listening and coming in at 9 p.m. I hope this time change works for you. If it doesn't, then you'll be able to catch it on the replay, and I'll send that out as I always do. So let me get us into screen share mode. I'll go through our team recognition and a few things that I want to cover tonight, and then we'll do question and answer at the end. If this is the first time joining us, we do this Zoom every Monday, starting now at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it's an opportunity for you guys to just get face-to-face with me and other people on the team and get some questions answered. A lot of times you may attend a corporate Zoom, and David covers some great details every time he speaks. It's always such a great coaching message, but sometimes we listen to that and then it prompts questions that may arise later. And I want to make sure you have an opportunity to get those questions answered. So Harlequin, can you see the We Fuel the American Dream screen? Okay, awesome. All right, so I've started a little bit different format on this. You know, we all get started with DAC, and DAC as a company, fueling the American dream by our services, what we market to business owners, but also having a home-based business opportunity. So now you have gotten started with DAC, you really have started a business. And it is a business that you can work part-time or you can work full-time when you get your income there. Last week, I covered that you don't want to go full-time too soon, right? You need a full-time income coming in until your DAC business is exceeding, and I like to say doubling what your income was with a traditional job for at least 6 months in a row. But our program is offering business and consumer services. We're going to provide you with the training, and there's no investment required other than an investment of your time. And some of you are really good at investing your time. You're doing the training, you're getting familiar with our services, and you know this inside out. Unfortunately, not everybody does that. We have some folks that are promoting DAC and don't have a clue what they're talking about, but at least they're out there talking about it and promoting. So something can be learned from that message. But let me get into the DAC agency model. You can start as a solopreneur and build your own personal client base, or if you're like me and you want to build a team and coach and work with other people and also leverage your income, you can build an agency nationwide by doing so. The DAC expansion philosophy is simply to create a world-class opportunity with a performance-based compensation plan, and then provide an incentive for you to attract other agency entrepreneurs. The key here is performance-based compensation, okay? That means you have to bring clients to the table if you're going to make any money. Yes, there are some nice referral bonuses and roller commissions if you bring on a team of agents that produce, but you've got a short window that you're going to get paid on them no matter what. After your first 90 days, if you don't start getting clients yourself and start getting qualified, you're not going to make any money. So we get rewarded for bringing clients to the table. And I need you guys to all understand that it is solely performance-based. DAC doesn't make any money off of us signing up or bringing other people in that sign up. They only make money, and we only make money as agents when we bring clients to the table. So let's go into who is taking advantage of that opportunity to build and expand a portfolio of agents. And this is for the week of 4/3 through 4/9 yesterday. We had 29 agents who had at least one new agent recruit, which is great. That's the same number we had the previous week. And we had a total of 44 new agents join the team. And that's Team Winn. That is from me and Harlequin and all of you that are frontline to me and everybody in the organization. I have a very large team, but we don't have a lot of active agents. So I'm glad to see the numbers kind of staying steady. One of these days, we're going to see a super spike in these numbers, and it's going to be off the charts again for the long term. I've seen that from when we've had teams come in and teams get started and the numbers spike, but we're going to start seeing that on a significant and consistent basis here in the very near future as we get these systems released with our back offices. But our top recruiters for the week, in first place, here I am on top of the chart with 5 recruits for the week. I'll tell you this, I have an ad running in the background all the time, but some of those out of the 5 are people that I either talked to personally or they found DAC and they started looking for who they wanted to work with. So not all 5 of those people came through an ad. Somebody asked me 2 weeks ago, you know, how did you have 9 agent recruits? And that's it, guys. I just talk about DAC every single week. I talk about it every single day, and I make myself visible. And I'm not a secret agent, right? So people can find me if they're looking for someone that's actively engaged in DAC. I make myself, available. Okay. So I came in first place. In second place, we had Contreras Cody with 4 new agents on the team. Congratulations. Third place, we had a 3-way tie with Chosen Purpose Creations, Danny Hockenberger and DeAnthony Thomas, each with 3 new agent recruits. And in fourth place, we had a 2-way tie with Daisy Cobb and Pam Warnock. Again, this is Pam's second week on the leaderboard. She's got some things going on there, so real excited for her to see that growth. So as a reminder, those that are taking advantage of building a team, the 3 top ways that you get paid by building a team, those enroller bonuses where you can earn an income match of 10 to 50% off of the income that the agents you introduce to DAC make. You can also make leadership bonus overrides from 10 to 50% on your entire organization. So imagine this chart. Those big desks are the people that you personally recruit in different cities across the country. And the smaller desks are the people that they recruit. With these leadership bonus overrides, you can earn an override on everything that everybody makes in your group. And we also have residual commissions. We've got a 7-level compressed payout on our 7-level residual plan, up to 30% match there. And then that 10 to 5% match. In this example, I totaled it up earlier and I did add it to the slide. In this example, I'm showing you $574,000 in earnings, just these major agencies that you've built across the country with a 10 to 50% income match. That means if you built this agency and this agency made this kind of money on the low end, you would earn a $57,000 income match. On the high end, $287,000. And that's the way our compensation plan works. So just wanted to show you those numbers. I believe it's very important that you keep the income opportunity top of mind, because most of you are here because you saw an opportunity to make money for yourself and get paid for doing good in your local community. So that income is the driving force behind what we need to be doing with our business owners and getting the good word out. The next thing I wanted to cover is, what are you communicating when you do recruit someone new? These new people that are joining our team each week, I don't see the numbers growing consistently with my text group, with the number of new people that are coming in. So we have some people that are recruiting and not communicating, or the message is just not disseminating through the organization. So I need your help on that, guys. What are you communicating when you bring in a new person? Are you telling your new agent, hey, you're going to get an email from David Allen Capital, and it's going to have your agent ID. It's going to have your links over to the Agent Resource Center and everything that you need to be doing as a brand new agent. But it's really important, you're going to be getting a welcome email from Ellen Winn, and then telling who I am, right? If you don't establish who I am in the organization, they don't know that they've got someone that's an experienced business person and an experienced team leader here with DAC to turn to help all of you build your business, right? I'm not here to replace what you should be doing as the sponsor, but I'm here to add to and add benefit to the whole organization here. And as I say in my welcome message, guys, if you haven't watched my welcome video, you need to go over to my Vimeo channel. It's at vimeo.ellenwinn.link. You know how you get into Zoom, the zoom.ellenwinn.link. If you go to vimeo.ellenwinn.link, I've got an agent showcase, several different videos there. But the first one says, welcome to the team. And it's just a recap of, hey, welcome. Here's what I do as a team leader to communicate to everyone. But most importantly, my email communications and my team text messages that I send out reminders, those are there to help support you in your business. If life gets in the way and you get sidetracked, or you want to take a lengthy vacation, or you want to be traveling around and you're not available, I still have these systems in place to support the people that you introduced to David Allen Capital. So make sure that you're reiterating that message within your team and that everybody knows that process. Hey, DAC is going to send you an email. Ellen Wynn's going to send you an email. Who is Ellen? Well, she's our senior team leader. She's an area director according to the DAC compensation plan, and she's been around almost 5 years. So there's probably not many questions that you could ask her that she doesn't know the answer to, right? Just edify who I am as your team leader, because you want to create that relationship and that that knowledge that there's somebody here in the field to help support them. Of course, if somebody comes to me with questions, I'm going to see whose organization they're in, and I'm going to point them back to the team leader within the organization, because I can't be the go-to for everybody. But that message is there, and then I disseminate that person back to where they need to be pointing to for their direct enroller and direct support person. The next thing is to be on our Zooms, right? Either be on our team Zooms and the corporate Zooms, or watch the replays, because there's always some important information that gets shared each and every meeting that we have. And if people aren't plugged in, they're really missing out. One of the things I think that we're missing out on is if you're not plugged in, you're not staying filled up and fired up about your DAC agency, right? Our business has ebbs and flows. You're going to have high points because you've gotten a new client or somebody has started an application, and then you're going to have low points because somebody started an application and they got declined or they didn't go on through the process. And now you're over here all excited, and all of a sudden you start getting depressed about your business because things aren't happening the way you want them to. But staying plugged in and listening to David and listening to me and hearing from other people that are on our Zooms and some of the questions will keep you encouraged. You've got to stay encouraged about the potential here with your DAC business, because the bottom line is, if somebody else is having a funding or somebody else is getting a Relevate or an ERC account, then you can too. You just got to talk to more people and talk to the right people to get those client accounts, right? So staying plugged in. And last but not least is don't get sidetracked. We encourage you to stay focused on DAC. And I know we have a lot of entrepreneurs that are already business owners that get started with DAC, and their business is their main thing, as mine is. I've been a limousine company owner operator for over 8 years now, and that business has kept me very, very busy. But it runs on autopilot almost, other than me having to respond to client messages. So it frees me up to do what I need to do to focus on DAC, right? But when you spread yourself too thin and you're trying to do this network marketing company and this affiliate program and this crypto trading program, and you've got 4 or 5 different things where you're chasing after dollars because they all look enticing, you're not going to catch the real victory with any of them if you spread yourself too thin. So I encourage you, don't get sidetracked. All these other companies are going to make themselves look like they're something great, but I forget what the numbers are, but it's in the 90s of the percentages of companies that are here today and within a year they're not here, or maybe 2 or 3 years later they're not even here. I know I've been involved with companies over my 20 plus years in network marketing that are no longer around, right? I just didn't know what to look for in my early days, but I certainly do now. And DAC is built for the long haul. So if you like our culture and you like the services that we're marketing and what we're bringing to market, the ability to help business owners, then stick and stay with us, because the deeper you look, the better DAC looks. And the income potential here is just totally unlimited. So that was all I had on the slides. I don't have any rank advancements this week to recognize. We'll get off a screen share there. No rank advancements to recognize this week. Our funding numbers are kind of up and down. I think because we've got new programs that we're marketing, people are focusing on some other things, but funding is always great. One other thing about my Vimeo channel, for those of you that follow me, you may see that I posted a clip today. It's like a 13-minute video. I clipped it from last Friday's Zoom where David Rutz was sharing the story about a client who got funding. They started with a $5,000 funding, and then they got a little bit more money and a little bit more money. And over the course of 4 years, now they're going to do over $180,000 this month in revenue because DAC fueled their business and helped them stay open and kept them running so that they were able to grow and expand and get to the point where they are today. So I just thought that was a great story and didn't want that to get lost in a list of recordings from all the different Zooms that go about. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you watch it. I'll probably send that out as a separate video tonight along with this replay. So I want to open up any questions or comments from anybody in our group tonight. Let me go back where I can see hands. Harlequin, you can help me out there too. Harlequin is working.
I don't see any questions in the well, I have one that I'm responding to, but I don't see any. Oh, there's Shelton with his hand raised.
Okay, awesome. Hey Shelton, how are you doing tonight? Let me ask you that. There you are. Unmuted.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Question.
Good question on the Zoom today, by the way.
Thank you. And that brings me to a question here.
All right.
One that I've asked before, and I know you said you wrote it down, but it still hasn't been brought up. The chances of us doing the mock thing where we, like you guys did before, that impromptu back and forth to help people maybe work a little bit on their wording and stuff. The reason why I asked that is when I first mentioned it, I thought, it really helped me because over the phone, I'm not necessarily the best at it, but I came to realize, and this happened Sunday while everybody was enjoying Easter, I was as well, but I ended up meeting with somebody that would be a potential client and also has a pretty decent circle of people that she's going to give my information out to as well. And she actually has somebody that just got denied by a bank on $100,000 loan, but the lady went on vacation right afterwards to Italy. She'll be coming back. When she gets back, she's going to actually tell her about us and about me, because this lady has one location in New York and one here in Illinois where I live. And I was like, we tend to be able to help up to about 80% of those that get denied by the banks. I was like, so yeah, please tell her, because we would love to help her if we're able to. I was under the clock, and I realized how much I do know, how much I do have this, because that 6-hour thing, I took 3-4 days to do the Super Saturday.
Right, I remember.
Yeah, her cousin is dying from cancer, and whenever she told me, I was like, okay, well, you want to talk about this another day? I go, you go to her, and she's like, no, I want to hear about this. So I put myself on the clock. I mean, and I think about, I got to be quick. And I mean, I knocked it out. It was like awesome. So I felt so good. And that's why I said this morning about, my Easter Sunday was awesome, because not only did I prove to myself, but I also am finding that through other people, they have people that they know, and where, that word of mouth will actually help us. And it came true form for me on Sunday. But there's other people that might have that difficulty on getting in that rhythm. And that's why I was wondering if we still could possibly do that to help others, of doing like little mock
Okay, you're talking about doing
scenarios.
role plays.
Yeah,
Like
little role
we did
plays.
a few weeks ago on a Zoom, and yes, I did say that we can do that, and I certainly can. I guess we've just kind of gotten lost in all of the updates and the transition here, Shelton, but we can certainly do that. I think for those of you that aren't sure what he's talking about or may not be familiar with the role play, we did some live role plays on one of our Monday night Zooms and just had an impromptu, pretending like you're the business owner, having the conversation, right? We went back and forth with that. Don't wait on me to do the role play with it. Put yourself in that situation, or ask a friend or a family member and say, hey, can I practice? I'm new with my business, and can you pretend to be a business owner for me? Because whatever that friend or family member is going to ask when you start presenting is probably going to be a real life situation, because there are going to be business owners out there that have no clue that alternative funding exists. And you start that conversation and they're going, wait, are y'all a bank? No, we're not a bank. We're alternative lenders, and we look more at your revenue rather than your credit score, right? All the different things that David shared today when Shelton asked, could we do some shadowing and all that? And David says, wow, it really is just what we say in the Zoom. So go back through, watch those replays, and then start rehearsing that on your own, and then tag a friend or a family member that, or your enroller, somebody that's already in DAC, where y'all can do that 2x2, as David shared today, and have those conversations. So you got something to bounce off of each other, practice. One of you be the business owner, the other one be the DAC agent, and do that a couple of times, and then flip the roles. We used to do that in live trainings, where we would pick a partner and everybody would pair off, and then we would be given the instructions of, okay, you be, let's do it A and B. The A's are going to ask the question, and B gets to be the customer, so you create that within your own little group or your own 2x2 team of folks, where you can do those role plays. But that's a great idea, Shelton. It really is helpful when you do that. But I think, if you pair off with someone, I think that's really going to be even more beneficial in trying to do a Zoom, because we're still going to have apprehension from people that want to get on the Zoom, and they're going, okay, well, I'll do this with somebody one-on-one, but they don't want to do it in fear of walking in front of a bunch of people and not saying the right thing. So I really think that one-on-one, people pairing up, is the best way to go with that. Bringing that back around.
No problem. Can I add one thing to what you just said?
Sure.
I'm not trying to promote anybody, so I'm not going to, but there's a YouTube class I took. And one of the things they said, to add on to what you just said, also set up your phone, your camera, your phone, and hit it on record and talk to it like it's the customer. And then after you're done, and just have some different questions that they might have. And after you're done, look it back over and critique it a little bit. And it's another way to help improve as well. So
absolutely. Good point. You're spot on with that, and doing things in the mirror and all that. But I really love being able to record yourself, watch and listen over and over. Guys, I do these Zooms. I record Zooms and put out training materials. Sometimes I may record something 5 times before I get just what I want in that recording, right? But every time I do it, I'm going, okay, that was good. And then I listen to it and I'm going, nope, but I should have said this. So same thing as what you're talking about, talking to a business owner, going back and listening to yourself over and over, critiquing and adding in exactly what it is that you should be saying. So good stuff there, Shelton. Thanks for your question and comment. I've got Victoria with a hand up. How are you doing tonight, Victoria?
Hello, thank you for taking my question.
You bet.
It had to do with what I was asking about the other day, which Harlequin is an expert from what I understand from all these Zooms, about doing home shows. I'm going to go to one this weekend, and I know we discussed it several months ago, and I can't remember which Monday night session it was to go back and re-listen to it. So I was just wanting just some, I don't know, a couple like little tidbits of, what to look for besides collecting the business cards and, having quick conversations, because I know it won't be any, be able to do much, but just to make sure I get the most out of it, because I know it's a 2-day thing, but I'm just going to probably be there all one day and knock it out the whole day.
Yeah, absolutely. And one day gives you an opportunity to go around and talk to the booth owners, because that's really
That's who I want to talk to.
gold is. Yeah. Harlequin, are you hearing the question here? And can you pop in and answer
Absolutely.
Victoria's question about how you handle going to a trade show where you're not running a booth, but you're in there as a visitor, and how you handle the conversation going around and talking to the business owners that are a captive audience for you, right? What would you say to those folks, and give Victoria and everybody else listening some pointers?
Okay, well, I'm having to switch and speak through my phone through my Bluetooth because there's
We can hear you
too
loud
much
and clear.
background. Okay, good. A couple of things that I would suggest, Victoria, is when you go in there, always be cognizant of who they are talking to at the time. And
Oh,
if
of
they've
course.
got clients, always step away. I'm not saying it just for you, I'm saying it for everybody,
No,
because
of
some
course.
people, some people don't do that.
no,
But
they don't.
yeah, they're kind of rude about it, and that's how you get kicked out of an event.
I know, right?
Yeah, and I've seen
I don't
people
want to
do
get
that, and
kicked
I've
out.
actually had somebody kicked out because they were being obnoxious about it. But anyways, what I do at home shows is I go and kind of target businesses that I think are going to be most most
That we could help.
advantageous to work with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a home show, you're going to have some that it's going to be payment processing that we can help them with the most.
Okay.
Some of them, it is business revenue based funding. Some companies, it might be that you talk to them about equipment financing if they're selling equipment. That way they can give our number out to their clients if they don't have a good finance option for their clients, which a lot of times they don't. But mostly, I usually have really good response from people in those events. If it's a 3-day event, some of them are. That Friday is usually more for trade people to come in which case some of the attendees are going to be business owners themselves. So that's another thing to think about. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many different possibilities in a home show.
Good stuff. Yeah, and one thing Harlequin said there, Victoria, is talking about the equipment financing. Of course, that is if they're passing your information on to buy equipment, it would have to be a business owner that's wanting to do the equipment financing.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
Consumer product that they're marketing. But great tips. And guys, those of you that don't know, Harlequin has been featured as Agent of the Month. And the last time she was Agent of the Month, she went into great detail on how she utilizes networking events to build her client base. And part of that networking event conversation led to going to trade shows. So thank you for asking for that. Again, Victoria, I'm sure that many are glad that you did. Or is there anything else that you want to ask tonight?
Do you guys recall when we did it? Because when Harlequin spoke for that, because I remember it and I'd love to rewatch it before I go. And I cannot remember when it was. Wasn't like a couple months ago or something.
Yeah, I do not know. Harlequin might know which session it was.
Yeah, give me a second. I think I've got my calendar. It was probably around the time that I went to the last home show. So give me a second. I'll come back to it and let you know.
Okay,
Cool, because I figured you might know.
right.
Thank you
perfect.
guys
Okay.
so much.
Hey, yeah.
All
Thanks,
right.
Victoria. Thanks for the question. We've got Cedric with a hand up. How are you doing tonight, Cedric? Can you unmute? There you are.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Hi. Oh, great stuff I'm hearing this evening. Thanks for everything.
You
You
bet.
guys are awesome. Especially listening to my German Shepherd back here. Especially with you know, I like when David he gives numbers. I'm a numbers guy, and he starts to saying if you talk to so many people per week, and at the end of the month you're gonna get so many fundings. So that just that lit me up again. But for myself, I'm a part of my local chamber of commerce. I'm an ambassador with my chamber. I go there a couple of hours a day, and I help out, calling up members and so forth. And then I go out in the evening and I walk through doors. So on Thursday I have an ERC meeting, but I've built a lot of relationships over the last year. Now I feel comfortable about going in and talking about what I do. And my first question is, for each product, because when I sold insurance, I basically would do a fact and find the deal and find out where an employee, or well, when I was insurance to an individual, where was the pre-needs and so forth. And then I would do a presentation that was it was modeled toward what, if it's cancer selling or whatever product. Do we have slideshows for each product? Because I like to get in front of people and go through a slideshow, either be a Zoom or in person. I have people coming over to the chamber. I sit down there and I kind of evaluate their business. And so I see where there's a need without them even knowing that I know what they need. And then I can present it to them. Are there individual slideshows for each one of our products?
Some of them there are. We've got the ERC is broken down into some training slides. We have Relevate broken down into training slides.
Okay.
Not so much with credit cards, but one of the slideshows that would be beneficial is the business opportunity, where you can go in and pull those specific slides that talk about our products. But I like using the website, Cedric. I like to ask
Okay.
business owners, say, well, tell me a little bit about your business. How long have you been around? Every business owner out there loves to talk about what they do. They love sharing their
Right.
story, how they got started, because it's about them
That's
and
right.
they're proud of this business, right? And as they're telling you, a lot of times the questions that you would need to ask are just divulged in that. They go, well, we got started here. Now we've got 2 locations. Great. How many employees
Okay.
do you guys have? Are you guys offering insurance? Did you work through COVID? Did you keep people on? Were you impacted by COVID? Have you guys gotten your ERC refund yet? Just through that general conversation. But I like what it is that you're saying. I like doing that more of a business consultant hat rather than trying to sell them something. And those questions are what leads to being able to do that consultation. But the website is a great tool if you don't have a particular slideshow presentation. I use a screenshot tool on my computer and pull screenshots from the website. So you can really easily put together a slideshow just from some of the different products off of the website there if you wanted to do that as well. So good point.
Okay. And then one other thing, I have have a lady. We have breakfast as for chamber members come in on Wednesdays to a local restaurant. I've been building a relationship with a lady that works for a payroll company, and so they are working with another company that is doing the ERC, is doing their ERCs, and
Okay,
then I
tell me
guess giving them a
who you said she's working with, and you're in her audio cut out there for a minute. You said this lady is working with.
Yeah, she works for a payroll company.
Okay.
Okay, so she has quite a few. They have quite a few clients that would probably need to relevate. The ERC. She said they're doing business with another company that's ERC, and so I'm going to meet with her probably later this week. So, how do I could once I talk to her, the initial conversation and kind of get the facts and find out what they're doing, maybe connect with the owner of the company because she's right there. They're kind of like right there together, and he's giving her a green light to do a lot of things. So should I gather the information and then I can come back and then set up a meeting with her and possibly the owner of maybe becoming an agent for DAC.
Absolutely.
And doing the ERC through that.
Yeah, so I would, try to figure out what's in it for them. Are they offering the ERC as solely as a benefit to their clients, or is their ERC relationship are they financially incentivized to offer?
It's a benefit along with I guess a referral fee.
Mm-hmm.
So the company that's doing it is giving them the company that's doing it for them is giving them a referral.
Okay.
So I'm just
so I would ask them to
basically.
Say, hey, do you mind me asking? Because I know there are a lot of companies out here that range from 15 to 35% that they're charging the client. Do you know how much they're charging your clients? Are they on a contingency basis? Do they charge them a flat fee? I would dig a little bit deeper into the commission basis that they're charging back to the client. And then once you have that information, then work that one back towards how much of that are you getting paid, your company getting, right? If they are in a good relationship and what their current ERC deal is, if it's better for the client and for them, and they want to keep promoting that rather than ours, you can certainly bring in the Relevate and teach them how they can market that and it be an additional income stream for their payroll company, right? But I also talking with other companies that do ERC. I like trying to connect with those folks because we've got a product with Relevate that they don't have, and it's a great product to interact, right? To bring in and say, hey, you guys are already dealing with these large employer groups. What if you could add an additional program that they're going to love? It's free to them. Their employees are going to love it. It's going to give them an edge in the marketplace as far as recruiting and retaining quality employees. It pays a nice residual income back to you. So I like trying to bring that conversation together to let them see that they've already got the client base that is a perfect fit for our product with Relevate.
Okay.
Does that help you?
You know what? That was a light bulb moment there. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, congratulations on being an ambassador. I'm also involved in my chamber, and I'm an ambassador this year for my chamber representing DAC. So I know that's a tremendous opportunity to be working in your local community, creating those relationships, and then having that open door opportunity as an ambassador. So way to go on that, Cedric. Great questions. Did you have anything else tonight?
That's it. I really appreciate your time, Ellen.
Okay.
Thanks for everything.
You bet.
Thanks, Harley Quinn. Thanks, Harley Quinn.
All right. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Cedric.
You're welcome.
All right.
And actually, Ellen,
go ahead.
I have an answer for Victoria. I think it was January 30th was the Monday after I had been to a big home show, and I think I spoke about it on that day.
Okay, awesome. So January
you.
30th, our Monday night team Zooms in my YouTube channel. Is that where it would be? Or was that during,
Should be.
yeah,
I
you would
was
have
just,
elaborated more on the team Zoom than you would have on a corporate Zoom.
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Great, thank you.
yep, and you know where my YouTube channel is. You can just do youtube.ellenwin.link. Take you straight
Yes.
over there, and they're all dated. All of the Zoom replays are. So great. Thanks, Harlequin. Thanks
Fantastic.
again for that question. All right, that got you squared away, Victoria?
Yes, thank you so very much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
You bet. Okay. All right, I've got Felicia up. Hey, Felicia, how are you doing tonight?
I'm well. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you.
Good, good. So I just got started last night, and I've started going through the training last night and some today. Miss Harlequin did answer some of my questions that I had messaged her, so I appreciate that. And then I had another question. Do we get a notification when someone gets started with like one of the products, such as funding?
Yes, you do. Well, first off, welcome to DAC. Glad to have you here and
Thank you.
glad to have you diving into the training. So thank you so much for reading your welcome email and going through. You want to make sure that you're focused on the right training, and that is the getting started section of the website. And for those of you who have not watched my welcome to the team video, I covered that specifically now. So back to using the communication systems that I have in place, make sure you're pointing people to that welcome to the team video. It's in my welcome email. But yes, you do. Every time someone goes through one of your David Allen Capital links and fills out a form on your website, you receive a notification by email that someone started the process. And then that is every time they go through one of your links that has your agent ID number at the end. That creates an automated process that triggers that email over to you. And then if it's funding, you want to go over to the quick reference guide in the Agent Resource Center about our funding program, because every funding product that we have has different requirements, and it'll also lay out what the specific process is. The process is going to have little pink icons of an email or an envelope, and that lets you know that when the person completes this step, you'll be getting email notification on that. And it'll also say, okay, if they completed this step and you didn't get an email on this step, you need to go back to them and communicate with your client and ask them to continue on. So that quick reference guide is a great tool for you there on, and those are all the funding programs. If you're talking about Relevate, you can actually go in and fill out the form with a client and fill out the Calendly link to get them set up for a Zoom call with the Relevate team. You can also do that with the ERC. You can go in and work with them to fill out the forms on the ERC application process. But ERC is one that can be a little tricky. You'll get notification that the ERC has been started on your website, but every time I get that notification, I immediately reach out to the client and say, hey, Ellen Winn here with David Allen Capital. If I already know them, I'm just doing a quick touch base with them. If they don't know me and it's somebody that I don't recognize the name of the company, I tell them who I am. And I see that you just filled out the form on our website to get the employee retention tax credit started. And I wanted to make sure that you made it on through to the communication with our ERC team and that you received that confirmation page along with an email to where you can go in and set up your private portal to upload your documents securely. And when you start that conversation with them, they're going to go, no, I don't think I made it that far. And then you want to take them back through that process. I've got a video on that specifically, Felicia, in my Vimeo channel under those new agent showcase. It says updated ERC process. You want to go in and watch that. I do screenshots on it. It's about a 7 or 8 minute video, but it'll help clarify that process for you. But yeah, thank you for the question. And I hope you start getting many emails with notifications saying that somebody has started some sort of application for you. Also, you get an email that lets you know when somebody signs up as a new agent. You get their name, phone number, email address, letting you know that someone new has joined your team. Now, that's only if they join directly through your link. If you bring in and build a team, you enroll someone and they enroll someone, you don't get that email on that second generation person, but you do on people that you personally enroll. How about that for an answer?
Oh, yes. Great answer. Great answer. I appreciate that.
Okay, you bet. Any other
And
questions?
yes, my husband, what did you say?
How long does it take, like, after the
Oh,
email
yeah.
and the follow-up?
After like I received the email about the funding, how long does it take for like someone from the company to actually reach out to them or to start working with them?
Well, it depends on where they are in the process. So you want to read the email, okay? Let's say, for example, someone applies and at the first paragraph there, it'll say, congratulations, someone has started an application at Bank Breezy. Based on their answers, we forwarded them to Bank Breezy, keeping them on the in-house team, or they may have gotten sent to Giggle. If they got sent to Giggle, then they're just going to have to follow the prompts, because Giggle is for businesses that are just doing a little bit of revenue, and it's really an automated system. There's not a lot of personal touch involved in that. As far as Bank Breezy goes, you're going to get an update after they have started the application. If you don't get another email saying that now they have completed a signed application, then they only filled out the first form and they didn't do the rest of it. So again, you want to refer back to the quick reference guide that takes you through a blow-by-blow process of how the sequence works. And you go, okay, I got email number 1, I did not get email number 2, and then go down and look at the notes and it'll say, okay, if you did not receive this email, contact your client and encourage them to upload their documents and sign off on that. But once they have completed that, let's make that assumption that they did go through, they uploaded the documents and they signed off on the e-signature on the Bank Breezy application. Once they have done that, the client's going to get an email saying, we've received all your documents, your file is now being sent out to lenders to get the best offer. So they'll get that email communication. Once our team has the offers back from the lenders, it's usually 1 day. It could take 2 or 3 days. If it's a challenged file, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days because the internal team is really working hard to try to get an offer from our lending network. But it's a quick turnaround. Again, some of those challenge files may take a little bit longer, but your client's in the loop. The last piece of communication they're going to get from the lending team is a phone call. Anytime we get an offer back from our lenders, the team at Bank Breezy is always going to try to communicate with your client by phone. They will call them and they'll email them an offer so that they've got the email in front of them at the same time. They can go through it over the phone with them. Last resort, they will sometimes send the email if they've made multiple attempts to get the client on the phone. Sometimes they'll send the email out without talking to them on the phone, but it's a real quick turnaround as long as your client's got everything submitted. So that
Awesome.
answer your question?
Yes. Thank you so
Good
much.
deal. Yeah,
Really.
so I just say this, if you guys are marketing funding, which sounds like you are, make sure that you watch the funding training under the Getting Started tab of the Agent Resource Center. That one video, it's a couple hours long, but that's really the key piece of the puzzle, because it covers how our process works, why our process is so very much needed, and how the payback rates work, and why our payback rates are what they are. You know, as I said earlier, I did a little 13, 14 minute clip out of a recording from last Friday, and David covered that there, talking about the value of the money versus what the payback rate was minimal, considering they helped a business go from 5,000 to 180,000 a month in revenue because we were able to fuel them. So make sure you understand the process there. And then on that funding page, we've also got the beliefs and so on. And you just really want to dive into why DAC has a tremendous value in the marketplace with the funding that we offer. What I do see a lot of times is a new agent will present our funding to a client. They don't understand how our funding works. They think that it's going to be bank rates, which we're not. We're not a bank, right? And then they have a client that go, oh my gosh, I was expecting 5% on this, and they're wanting me to pay back 20% or 25. And it tears down an agent's belief because they didn't go through the training. So I want you to make sure you go through the training and understand the process and the pricing that we have program. Okay.
So you said it's under getting started. I'm on that page, and then which one is it? I see
the video, the top left video. It's the business funding video.
Okay.
That's the number one. You want to watch that in its entirety, and then the quick reference guide that's on that page as well is going to be your go-to shortcut. It's about 8 pages, but there's a single page for every funding program that we have.
Got it. All right.
Okay.
Not gonna take up any more of your time. Thank you so much.
Oh, you bet. Thank you for the questions, and thank you for being a great student. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
And
Lisa.
Ellen,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to add, whenever you're watching the videos, make sure you take notes, because you will go back to them over and over again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Good point, Harlequin. Okay, let's go to Janet. Hey, Janet, how are you doing tonight? Another ambassador for her local chamber?
Yes. Well, actually, I kind of fizzled out of that. I've been doing it for 3 years and spending a lot of time. And so there was some other like groups and stuff that I couldn't go to. So I kind of fizzled out of that. But one of the things that I do with the chamber, I still keep my membership. One of the things I do is I go to ribbon cuttings that pertain to this business. So I went to one, and the company, what they do is they build like shopping centers and neighborhoods. And I don't know, here in Texas, we kind of have our each little neighborhood. I mean, and they're all inclusive. I think there's another name for it. I can't think of what it is, but they'll have like, you know, the houses, they'll have their own schools, and it's still part of the Woodlands, but it's like Creekside and like I'm in Grogan's Mill, and you know, it's anything like that. Anyways, so I went to this ribbon cutting, and so there's like the owners, everybody goes to the ribbon cuttings. And so then I was able to send an email to him, and my tagline was, I met you at your ribbon cutting, which got his attention. And so I said in my email, I said, along with, you know, obviously when we're called David Allen Capital, we do capital. So I said, along with capital, line of credit, and some other services that we have. And I talked about the pay any day. Now I'm thinking a company like this is going to have hundreds of employees. Well, come to find out, they only have 30 employees, and the rest are independent contractors.
Oh, wow.
So he really wasn't interested in pay any day. I think he was thinking more of himself, or, you know, because I kept saying, you know, it doesn't cost you anything but your employees and da-da-da-da. But until you said a week or two ago about not having to pay the fees to send money out of, like, I'm in Texas. Lots of people send money to Mexico,
Right,
you know, for their families.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, well, I can go back to him and talk about that. But one thing he asked, I was talking about the Connect Cash. Does that have to be like capital to capital? Or like he was saying, what happens is they get an investor and they buy land, and then they build the buildings on that land. So he said that he would refer me for the asset back. So if he signed up, he said that he doesn't have need for capital, but a line of credit would be great. So if he does the line of credit, the Revelate, would he still be able to do the Connect Cash?
Yeah, so if he gets a line of credit, all of our funding programs are offered through Bank Breezy, and that's where the Breezy Connect Cash is. So if he becomes a client with a line of credit, then he is automatically eligible to sign up as a Connect Cash referral partner, where he gets a link, he gets credit when he sends that link out, but the information at the top of the website will say Janet Skills, and it'll have your contact information. So he refers them, and you're the point of contact for that person if they have questions or need help getting through the application process, right? So yes, back to your comment about Relevate. There are fees with that international transfer, but it's going to be minimal compared to what they would pay through some of the transfer agencies right now. And you know what? I don't know if that is live yet. They said it was going to be live by the end of March, so I'm assuming that it is, but I need to ask that question. I've got a point of contact with Relevate. I'm going to ask that question directly to him, and I will report back to you guys as to where we are on that international money transfer and the rates for that, because I know it's going to be a big money saver. And also on Relevate, if they have 1099 workers, that pay card can work for them as well. So not just their hourly employees. If he has independent contractors that they pay on a regular basis, then they could add them to that payroll. And right now for us, if they've got at least 25 employees, if they do 100% enrollment, they could be eligible for pay any day, but it would be up to Relevate to do the background on that and make that decision. So
Yeah.
good
Well,
stuff.
but when a company pays weekly, the pay any day doesn't really do much, does it? I mean,
Sure
I've
it
had people
does.
say to me that, well, like their bank does that anyways for a day or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. The value is not as great if they do weekly pay, because obviously their employees are going to have money more frequently, but it's still, it may mean that payroll gets posted on Monday, but they don't get paid till Friday. If it's posted on Monday and they've got pay any day balance, they could draw money on Monday and not have to wait. It could be 4 or 5 days early that they're actually getting that money. So, but yeah, but you're right. The greater value is for companies that are doing biweekly pay or longer periods between their payroll, for sure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. And a comment, last month, David's wife, Marlo, did a women's retreat, and he kind of announced it at the last minute. And I'm like, oh my God, that's 10 minutes from my house. And I'm like, I cannot not go, And so I did go. There was 131 women at this church, 10 minutes from my house. I did not know a single person.
Oh my.
And so I happened to walk in with this one lady, and we just started talking. She like introduced me to all her friends, and I'd been looking for a new church. And so it also became my new church.
Nice.
So then I went to regular church on Sunday, like 2 weeks later. And I thought, okay, so that was a women's retreat. I didn't know anybody, maybe because I do so much networking, I'll recognize some of the men that are with their wives. Again, there was not one person I recognized in that church, but she said that the pastor was out of town. He did a big thing in Israel. And so he was out of town. So a lot of people weren't going because he was out of town. So then yesterday I went for Easter service. There was thousands of people there.
Sure.
And I really paid attention, especially when we were doing worship and stuff where I had time to look around. I still did not see one person that I knew, which really opened my eyes to, it's 10 minutes from my house. There's a whole new world out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like for the people who say, I can't find anybody to talk to anymore because I've already gone down my street, kind of reach out to, different. It was just such an eye opener for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for sharing that, because I know you've been so active in your local community there. You said you've been doing the ambassador thing for 3 years. So you've made a lot of connections, and to go in and not see a single soul that you knew is awesome. Wasn't Marlo incredible? I was on her Zoom earlier. She's just such a a caring soul, and I love her sharing the journey that she's been on, and the journey she's quick to divulge things that have gone on in her relationship with David and their struggle to get to where they are today, and it just helps build that strength in relationship, and their relationship and their faith is just tremendous. So thank
Yes.
you for mentioning her.
I used to listen to her on Facebook Live regularly when she had the cubby hole.
Mhm.
And then we switched to the barn, and it happens to be pretty close to the same time that we do our Friday live Zoom. So I kind of got away from it. But then when he said that she's going to be 10 minutes from the house, it was like amazing. So
Oh, yeah,
and it
that
was
was
great
awesome.
to have her book before I went to that retreat, because
God
everything,
sprinkles that book.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything she said was in the book, and she was selling the book. So I kept telling everybody, everything she just said is in that book. So I think it helped sell some more books for
Yeah.
her.
Awesome. Well, thanks for giving her a plug. I just feel so fortunate and blessed to be a part of the Rutz family. We're all an extension of the Rutz family, right? Because we're here growing and building DAC. So you're all very much appreciated by me and by the Rutzes for your commitment to David Allen Capital. So thank you for saying that. Good seeing you.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. I got Faye with a hand up. Hey, Faye, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, good evening. Nice to see you
Good to see you.
live. I hardly ever get on because coming from work, it just makes it so difficult. But I think this is going to work out really good
Awesome.
this time. But I do have a quick question. I'm not for sure. Is there any way we can track to see who is coming into our back office? Well, not coming into our back office, but is there any way we could go into our back office to see who's been going through our site,
Well, you can't see who specifically, but they do track the number of unique IP address hits. So, everybody's computer has its own IP address, and you can go track that. It's under business site statistics, I believe. I may be wrong on the listing there, but it's on your left-hand menu. So you can look at it on a day-by-day basis and see
Right.
how much traction you're getting, right? How many new
Right.
hits you have for the day and how many you have total since inception. So yeah, I wish it were unique, but they don't have that ability with it because they're tracking David Allen Capital, but then your unique URL with your ID number and then the unique IP addresses. So
what was that step you said to go to the left side?
yeah, on the left side in your back office, once you log in, I believe it's under business, under the business tab. And then when you do the drop down there, it'll say unique site visitors or website. And then when you open that up, somewhere in there aren't that many menus on the left. Maybe Harlequin, if you're looking at that, you can give direction, or somebody else is welcome to see where that is. But yeah, that way you can see that your marketing efforts are paying off and that
Right.
somebody is going to your site, right?
Right.
But you know exactly who they are or not. And of course, then once they go to your site and fill out a form, then you get an email triggered to you. So,
Correct. Okay.
all right.
Well,
Any
thank
other
you.
questions?
Oh, no, that's fine. I had sent you an email, but I know it's been so busy, and I'm so happy that I can come on to the
Yeah.
call
Me
to
too.
ask.
And guys, my inbox is stacked up. Last week was the Masters tournament, the golf tournament in Augusta, Georgia. And my limousine company was busy every single day. So I was juggling, trying to handle my limousine clients. And today I've still got billing going out for some of the companies that used our services. So I'm definitely playing catch up. So appreciate your patience waiting on an email response there. But thanks. Good to hear from you, Faye.
Good to hear from you too. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
You bet. All right, let's go to James Doswell. Hey, James, how are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, just a couple of quick things. On that, Faye, on the counter that we get in the back office, because of the way everything is under David Allen Capital, regardless to which page they go to, it'll show up in the counter. It just won't show you which one it is. But if you had 3 over here and 2 over there, it'll show 5. Okay, so
That's
okay.
just background noise, James.
Oh, I thought Janet was saying something. Okay. The red stuff for the new people. If you search in the group for red stuff, there's a post there that's got the timestamp on the Saturday thing. If they haven't edited that whole thing, then the timestamp is good. And
And it's also in my Vimeo channel. I have that whole red stuff video in there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep.
And I did request in support when the international transfers were going to happen, because he did say March, and at the end of March I was all over that, like, okay, is it live yet? And Sharon contacted them, and they got back to her, and they said end of May.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for that update.
Okay, that's it.
Good stuff. Appreciate you. All right, anybody else? I see Felicia asked, is there a prepayment penalty on our funding? No, there is not. In fact, in most cases, if they pay off their funding within 30 to 60 days, there's going to be a significant discount for that. Anybody else there, Harlequin, with questions that need to be addressed for everyone?
Yeah, we do have one from, this is from Chris H. He was asking about how it works with the different commission levels whenever you get amped up and double amped and triple amped. And, when you do your first loan, what do you get? Your second, your third, your fourth, that type of thing. You could explain that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So your first funding, everybody is going to get 4% or 40% of the bonus revenue, which really equates to about 4% of whatever the client gets. Okay. That's going to be on funding. On ERCs, it's 50% of the bonus revenue, which also equates to about 4% of what the client gets. That's all broken down in the PDF in the Agent Resource Center under Commission tab. At the top, there's a PDF that has a little pop-out window that breaks all of that down for you. After you get a funding or a qualified client means they have 600 or more in qualifying revenue, and they are a new client, then that amps you up. And amped up is a 30-day rolling window. So you get amped up today on April the 10th. You now have a 30-day clock to get another funding. If you get that next funding within 30 days of this date that you get this funding, that means you're going to get paid as amped, which is 60% of the bonus revenue or 6% of what the client gets. If you get another, and that's going to start the 30-day clock again, whatever that funding date is. If you get a third funding within 30 days of that second one, now you're going to get paid as double amped, which is 70% of the bonus revenue. It gives you a new start date on the 30-day window. You get another funding within 30 days of that one, a new qualified client. Then now you're going to be paid as triple amp, which is 80% of the bonus revenue. And as long as you keep getting a new client every 30 days, when you've hit that triple amp status, you'll keep getting paid 80% of the bonus revenue. Guys, I'm glad that question came up. I have a compensation breakdown that I've created the slides. I just haven't done the recording yet, but I will get it done this week, and I'll be sending that out. And it's just going to rock your world on the compensation plan. I do it specifically on Relevate, okay? Because there's been a lot of questions about how you get paid on Relevate. So I've done a breakdown of how you get paid on Relevate. But if you will watch the training that I do on that, it's gonna be eye-opening on every product that we market. And that is, if you have any misunderstanding or confusion about how the compensation plan works, because I'm gonna break it down on Relevate to show you every little piece of the puzzle and all the different ways that you get paid on that one product, but it's going to be the same thing for every other product that we have in the compensation plan. And I think you're going to walk away and go, I get it now. So I look forward to getting that out to you. Chris has got his
Okay.
hand
Well, actually,
up. Go ahead.
there was a second part of it, and I guess
Okay.
I'll let Chris ask the question.
Yeah, Ellen and Harley Quinn, thank you so much. Again, I started here probably about 2 weeks ago, so I've already submitted a commercial real estate, but I'm not sure where that's gone yet, and that's the reason why I'm asking. And I already submitted tonight a business, some business capital. So I'm also, I'm probably trying to submit at least about 5 a week is what I'm trying to do.
Awesome.
So that was the reason why I'm asking. So the BLOCs as well as the commercial, are those paid the same?
The
Business lines of credit.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you said VLOCs because there's
No. BLOCs and as well as the commercial. Are those paid 4, 6, 7, and 8 as well?
Yeah, you're getting paid 4% on those, but you're getting paid 40% of the bonus revenue. And with lines of credit, it's reduced bonus revenue volume. It's, what is it, 70%, Harlequin, off the top of my head?
Because I believe I checked the,
Yeah.
I think it needs
It's
to
in
be
the comp
updated.
sheet.
I was gonna say, yeah, it
Yeah.
is on the comp sheet. I think the commercial is not updated.
Let me take a look real quick.
Yeah.
But compensation plan, we go to the comp plan document, and then that one page, which is page 13 in the compensation document. I'll actually pull that up and do a screen share with you
Okay, appreciate
while
that.
we're talking about it. Now I've got that up. Let's do screen share. Okay, so I've opened up the Agent Resource Center and clicked on comp plan here at the top, compensation plan. And then when you click on this little pop out window, it
Mhm.
opens up this document. Now I've scrolled down to page 13, and here's your breakdown for the business line of credit. It is usually equal to the draw amount, the bonus revenue amount times 3%, but could be lower or higher depending on the terms. Example, a client has a $50,000 approved line of credit, draws out 20,000. For that draw, it would be 600. So 20,000 times 3% is $600 in bonus revenue. Okay. Your commission would be 4% of that, or $240. You could also get amped up for bonuses of 120 to 240 more. The qualifying volume is 60, the residual revenue is 60. So what you want to do is look over here to the left, which is the definition, the payout breakdown, and also giving you an example of that particular payout. But then you want to look at these columns over here. The first one, the qualifying volume, is 10% of the bonus revenue. That qualifying volume is what's going to help move you through the commission plan so that you're earning higher payouts on your own clients and higher payouts on your team. The residual revenue, this is the one that really moves you through the comp plan. And the QVRV, when does it count? It counts the month that they draw the money. And the agent commission, 40% of the bonus revenue. If you're amped, 60, 70, and 80%. And then what's the timing of that? You get paid the day after we're paid, which is usually the next day on that.
Okay.
So does that answer your question on line of credit?
Yeah, it's perfect. And then the commercial side?
On the asset-backed funding?
Yes,
Let me see. You said that's the one that has not been updated.
that is correct.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that. It's not on there at all, is it?
Yeah, it's probably a relatively new offering, so I think that's the
It
reason.
is.
Yeah.
I think that's probably just an oversight on that, because let me see if it's broken down in the business revenue. Because like, for example, in business fundings, it says new giggle fundings are at 7% and only reported, right? So there's an exclusion of how giggle works versus
Mhm.
everything else. But I don't see anything there for asset backed unless I'm overlooking it.
No, I don't believe so. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah,
It
no.
was in there previously, but for some reason it's been pulled out.
I'll ask a question on that.
Yeah, I believe, I don't want to misspeak. And I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
I've got the original document printed here, and in my 3-ring binder, my Trailblazer binder.
I think it's 0.7% of the amount. Say if they get $1 million, it's going to be the bonus revenue is going to be somewhere between 700 and 1,000.
Well, I'll tell you where you can find that specifically, but it needs to be added to the comp sheet. But if we go over to the homepage, there is a screen that has new services training. It is in that. And the slideshow there should break down what the compensation is on it. Let's see. Asset backed. It's going to be in these slides.
Yeah, excellent. Yep, I know exactly where it's at. I
Okay.
appreciate that. You guys have been excellent.
You
I
bet.
appreciate
You
it.
bet. Okay. Thank you for the question. Let me go.
Oh,
on.
absolutely. Thank you
Slide
guys so
share.
much.
Okay. Anything else before we wrap up tonight, guys and gals? That answers all the questions in the chat, Harlequin.
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be here at our new later time. And please help me get the word out to the team on that. I'll get this recording along with today's recording and that little clip that I talked about that has that 13-minute window of why our funding is so important to small business owners out there. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a great evening.
Thanks, Ellen.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. You betcha. Have a good one.
Thanks, Ellen.
Good night.
You bet. Thank you.
Win-win.
All right. Good night, everybody.